Welcome to the Franchising 360 Show, the only show that takes you inside the world of franchising, with hosts Tim Parmeter and Danielle Wright.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 Show. I am Tim Parmeter. With me, as always, is Danielle Wright.
That's me.
Danielle and I are going to give you a 360-degree view of the franchising industry. We're going to hit up things that you need to know to determine if you should be a franchise owner, if so, which one, how to be successful once you are. We're going to hit up some things eventually on how to become a franchisor. Today we have a franchisor guest joining us today, so looking forward to that.
That's awesome. I'm so glad we didn't use the word excited again.
I am thrilled, enthused, and all of the things besides excited. So
and thankful because someone actually wanted to show up.
Yes, they well, we think they're here, so we'll find out. But looking forward to that. But Danielle,
Tim,
it's Friday.
It is Friday.
I feel like we need a franchise fun fact.
Just today?
Only on Fridays.
Only on Fridays.
Or if you watch this again on Sunday, it is there as well. Or ever on our YouTube channel, it'll also be there.
It's not as much fun when you don't say it's like Friday, franchise, fun.
Friday, franchise, fun, fact.
And I think we change those words around a lot, so we really need to find one that works.
I'm just making sure you're paying attention.
Yeah, okay. Ready for this?
Yes.
Name a weird franchise.
A weird franchise. Can we define weird?
We could.
Like the name of a franchise?
Like just any franchise that sounds odd and not like it should be a franchise.
There's one that does crime scene cleanup.
That's not odd.
That's not odd?
Well, it's a little odd, but you ready for this one?
How about picking up dog poop?
That's a little, but it's not weird.
Okay.
It's not weird. Do you want to know when that is?
Yes.
And it's a Friday fun fact.
Yes.
Golden Gate Funeral Home.
Golden Gate Funeral Home. Isn't that kind of a dying industry?
Oh, see, this is why we don't tell you these things before. Because if I had had the opportunity to vet that dad joke, we would have let that one roll.
I keep them all in the database.
Yeah, I know,
so,
but it's proof positive that you can franchise anything.
So tell us more about this franchise.
You just franchise grief management. It's a funeral home. Like, how much more can I tell you?
Okay. There's also one that does the same thing for pets.
Yes.
So, not created by
for some
Stephen
reason,
King.
I can wrap my head around the pet thing, but franchising a funeral home.
Well, it is recession-proof, I guess. So there's that.
People are dying to get in there.
They are. So it is. There's just if somebody says to us, hey, is there a franchise that does this, or is there a franchise in that industry? You can't really
The fun fact is you can franchise so many things, even the weirdest of franchises.
Yes, indeed. Well, our guest today is not necessarily
kind of got a weird franchise.
It's not totally weird, but it's something people may not think about.
See,
being a franchise.
I tied 2 and 2 together.
Look at you. That's
Thank
4.
you for putting them together like the Lego bricks you are.
Exactly. So our guest today is going to talk about a well-established brand. Pretty famous person kind of endorses it and a big part of it. But we're going to get back to our guest. It is Al Haskett, Vice President of Franchise Development for a brand I'm going to tell you about when we come back here on the Franchising 360 Show right after this. Hey everyone, we are back on the Franchising 360 Show. Tim Parmeter alongside of Danielle Wright, and when she gets this close to me, it means we have a guest.
Come up with a new shtick.
Joining us tonight is Al Haskett, Vice President for Franchise Development for Stretch Zone. Al, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
We are excited to chat with you, and got a bunch of things. Let's go really quick. Stretch Zone. What the heck is Stretch Zone?
Yeah, so we're one-on-one practitioner-assisted stretching. So retail facing, about 1,000 square foot, monthly recurring revenue business model. But we change lives, man.
How?
We say how do we change lives?
How do you change lives?
Well, we have some people that high school kids that just want to avoid injury. Then you have 80-some-odd-year-old folks that want to be able to put their underwear, their shoes on without help, and everything in between.
or a 56-year-old that needs the same thing. Well, you and I know a little bit about this brand, and
do we? I don't know that I do. I think I know their competitors. I don't know that I know Stretch Zone.
So ask a little bit about that, because there's some key differences that we need to talk about.
Well, okay, there's differences in why stretching and where did it come from.
Yeah,
and I'm
stretching?
a big boutique fitness person, so I get the boutique fitness side, but stretching, why do I need someone to help me stretch?
Yeah, so you mentioned where did it come from. So
Yeah.
our origin story is pretty cool. So our founder, his name's Jordan Gold. He was a South Florida personal trainer, really close with his grandfather, who was bedridden with diabetes. He had the idea of stretching him one day, try to prolong his life. A year goes by, and he's up dancing at his cousin's wedding. And that's kind of the aha epiphany, or I like to call it the oh, you know what moment. What have I stumbled onto? So it's been a great run. You mentioned our competitor differentiators. So number one is the table. Table's proprietary. The only way you're getting our table is if you're a Stretch Zone franchisee. Number two is the strapping system. It's patented. So fundamentally, there's stretches we can do. Nobody else can. I'm a member. I go on Thursdays. I'm 6'1", 195 pounds on a good day. Little girl that stretches me is probably 5'2", 100 pounds soaking wet. With those straps, we can isolate. They can. The biggest thing that sets us apart, you guys, is the stretch itself. It's nationally accredited. It's the National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork recognizes the Stretch Zone protocol and methodology. So what does it mean? It means that we are essentially the governing body. So when our franchisees are staffing in their studios, there's no prerequisites. I don't need personal trainers, massage therapists, physical therapy assistants.
Okay.
The training we provide, based on 39 different protocols, is accredited. There's nothing else like out there when it comes to stretching.
Okay, so how easily do your franchisees find people that want to get that accreditation and want to, I get a little creepy, like I'm not touching you and moving you in places that seem weird. And even though I'm married to you, I still wouldn't do it, so...
So we'd have to pay somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
right. So how do we find this person,
Franchisees.
right? Like how do we locate them?
I'll say it's common for us to find and attract folks that have some sort of background or appreciation in fitness. So we have a lot of college kids. They are working on degree paths. They may want to become a massage therapist or a chiropractor or a physical therapist, but again, they don't have to. So our training model, it's a hybrid. Starts with about 40 hours of virtual through our learning management system. Once they pass that, then there's 2 days of hands-on practical training with a hands-on practical test out at the end. So we're corporately in Fort Lauderdale. We hold that training weekly without exception. And we also have, I believe, 13 master practitioners as of today that will travel to studios to host trainings for franchisees. We've only got 410 studios now, so there's plenty of options for franchisees.
Only 400. How many more can we have? It's stretching.
I'll say conservatively in the U.S., 900.
Okay.
And then we just crossed the line into Canada about 3 weeks or so ago,
Congratulations.
which is super
That's,
exciting. Yeah, thank you.
No small
Thank
feat
you.
to do that. So
Nice.
your turn.
No, so back up a little bit then to the owner, right? So how much experience or background does an owner need in that, or what are you looking for there?
So I'll say, again, it's a background in health and fitness is pretty common, but I won't say it's absolutely required. More so a level of passion for community and helping people, because we're providing a service that, we genuinely change lives. I made the joke, the 85-year-old man who can't put his underwear or shoes on, but you have folks that come in with sciatica. They've been dodging a back surgery for 3 or 4 years. And they come in crying one day. It's like, I slept through the night for the first time in years, and it's because of Stretch Zone. So what we're really looking for, me personally in my seat, somebody who is a proven leader of people is the biggest variable. You got to be able to build and lead a team. It's not a complex business, and then I think that element of helping people and appreciation for that is key. I do have personal trainers. I do have physical therapists.
Okay.
I do have chiropractors as franchisees. They cross-pollinate their patients, but again, it's not a requirement.
Gotcha. So and nor is that owner in there doing all the stretching all day long. They're running the business.
Yeah. Not owner operator. Definitely not what we're looking for.
So how is Stretch Zone helping to educate everyday consumers that stretching is something that they need? I say that question because we have a newfound appreciation for a boutique fitness Pilates piece, just because he's doing it more now, and to the same point, like he doesn't have to sit down to put his shoes on. Like he can actually stand and balance
That's why I've started tying them again. It's
Yeah.
because I can get all the
So
I can
great,
get all
so
the-
great.
three.
But I know that's come a long way and still has so much further to go. But franchises in the segment are doing more to educate everyday consumers. What is Stretch Zone doing to contribute to
So
that?
from a national perspective, you may have heard of Drew Brees, former quarterback for the Saints, won
Okay.
the Super Bowl, lovely guy. Hell of an athlete, and he accredits a lot of his success to stretching throughout
Okay.
his career. So we do all sorts of initiatives with Drew. I think he was on a podcast actually last week
Okay.
talking about Stretch Zone. Our founder was on Bloomberg doing a live TV segment about 6 weeks back, celebrating our 400 studio opening. Lord knows how much money we spend on SEO, pay-per-click, doing things like that. But to your point, Danielle, there's absolutely still an element of consumer education to our industry, which for me tells me there's a tremendous amount of
Right.
runway.
Right.
We're still in the early adopter phase,
Okay.
maybe the latter stages, but tons of runway ahead of us.
So do franchise owners, sorry, this is normally
you're good.
yours,
No, go.
your thunder. I can't believe I'm asking so many questions. So do you recommend franchise owners or anyone that's considering becoming an owner of this have certain types of partnerships with other service providers? What does that kind
You're
of look
just
like?
hitting all the nails on the heads, Danielle. So
Is this your first day in franchising? Look at you
Yeah,
doing all this
I know.
stuff.
Day 1, 4 hours in, we're good.
So you got the digital element, which is a huge part of business today. We've got vendors that take care of that piece and all the support, the infrastructure, the systems, we handle that. The community piece is key. So
Okay.
local relationships, I don't compete with any of these other fitness brands. I mean, the only competitors are the stretching brands. So think about your Orange Theories, your Hot Works,
Okay.
your Club Pilates, your 9-round fitnesses, your F45s. I mean, we're offering demo stretches at their facilities.
Okay.
All franchisees have a portable stretching table. It still has the patented straps, and I want you on the table for 5, 6, maybe 10 minutes. Hop on, feel the straps, a couple stretches, our protocols, and then I want you to come in studio for the free stretch. The first stretch is free with Stretch Zone. Nobody else does that. And it's not a sticky, like, I need your credit card or your debit card
Yeah,
type of free stretch.
because we got caught up in that too.
It
Yep.
is, yeah, it's a turnoff for a lot of consumers,
Yes.
myself included.
Right.
Now we're going to sell you at the end of the demo when you come in the studio, but that's the goal with these other fitness brands or these community relationships, the farmers market, whatever it may be, is
Okay.
I want at-bats. I call them butts on tables, right? Let me get butts on tables.
Right.
Those are my at-bats.
Because we have a good friend, their son is a doctor, a physical therapist, and he tells his parents all the time to stretch. And so I'm imagining if I had that relationship and, they send them home with all of these things to do, how many of us actually do them, that PT at home stuff?
Or you're not doing it as well, right? Or you're stretching
Correctly.
right? Or you're doing what is easier for you versus the stuff that's actually working. right?
Absolutely.
So let's come back to that a little bit more and talk about that and a lot more on Stretch Zone when we come back on the Franchising 360 show. All right, we are back on the Franchising 360 show. Tim Parmeter with Danielle Wright and our guest Al Haskett from Stretch Zone. So one of the things I think that's unique and kind of cool from a Stretch Zone standpoint is the range of customers, right, or members, right, because this is a really kind of a membership model. And you talk about the, kind of the as we get older, and I am an avid stretcher as I've gotten older from this, and it has made a world of difference. But again, I think when you're trying to that education piece, if you watch any sort of sporting event and you watch before, what is everybody out there on the field or on the floor having done to them, right? There's somebody out there literally assisting them to stretch kind of for a reason, right? And so I'm guessing that's part of the Drew Brees connection coming in from all his experience. And does that help you guys promote the brand more, or does that make any difference?
For sure. I mean, if you look at the top 0.1% of the planet, the professional athletes, I mean, they're taking it seriously, religiously. So you don't think us average Joes and Janets need to be doing the same thing. So, I mean, when you go into our studios, it's really cool. It's a wide range. I mean, again, you've got the high school athlete that's trying to mitigate injury. So mom and dad are paying for him to get stretched 2 or 3 times a week. And then you'll have me, 38-year-old middle-aged professional, had a back surgery in 15. I want to play less bad golf,
Right.
you know, and so I go to Stretch Zone. And then you have, I call them like the country clubbers. So a lot of golf, a lot of tennis, a lot of pickleball, a lot of racquetball, anything they can do to get a competitive edge on their buddies, or they can't get through a round without their neck or back talking to them, their hip bothering them, whatever it may be. And then again, the older folks, like just had the hip replacement, just had the knee surgery, and insurance has stopped paying for physical therapy. I'm not still where I was pre-surgery, or I'm doing this in addition to physical therapies because I'm aggressive and I want to get back to normal faster. So it's really a wide range of folks. Anybody can benefit from our service. We don't stretch folks under the age of 14 though. There is a higher likelihood for injuries. Growth plates haven't fused. So that's our only non-negotiable under the age of 14.
Okay, so 15 to 115.
I'd say 15 to still alive.
Right.
You got it. You got it.
Above ground.
You breathing, have a heartbeat. Good, you're our client.
That's it. That's it.
So you had mentioned something, insurance, just so the viewers know you guys don't dabble in that. This is pure private pay, additional.
Yeah, we don't treat or diagnose. We are a cash non-health service. I do have plenty of members that they'll submit to insurance. They'll get reimbursed. I think we're about 80-85% with HSAs and FSAs.
Okay.
But I'm not going to advertise that in studio. That is on the member to fight that paperwork battle. If we were to try to do that at the unit level, I would need a bookkeeper in every studio to chase 70-75 cents on the dollar. It just doesn't make sense at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
What? So we've got an owner, and then we have our stretchers. I'm sure there's a real name for the stretch person.
Yep.
How many? What are we starting with, kind of from a staff perspective?
Typically 8 to 10 is the expectation I'll set with a new franchisee, and it's a combination of your stretch practitioners that do the stretching, and then we have sales associates that sell the memberships. So I make the joke, I don't need unicorns, somebody who can stretch well and sell well. 2 different roles, and I'll say usually 3 to 4 sales associates, heavily part-time, and then a mixture of part and full-time stretch practitioners. The concept of hourglass scheduling with us is very, very real. What I mean by that is I tend to be busier in the morning, slow down the middle of the day, us 9 to 5ers, right? We can't come in, and then I typically ramp back up in the evenings, and especially on the weekends. So the ability to staff my studios heavily with part-time labor, especially on the sales side, because that's when my demos come in, right? And I have to be able to staff the studio when my prospective
So if our viewers write in, can we get them an additional stretch for free? Like they get the first one, can they go for a second because they saw them on the 360 show?
Yeah, I'll fund the first 10 people that do that.
I didn't ask for you. I'm looking for Al to step up.
You're putting him.
He's got 400 locations.
I was hoping he was going to step up and go, no, Tim, we'll do it.
I was just going to ask. I mean, we could tell me no on
Franco
TV.
Coach
It's
pocketbook
fine.
or the Drew Brees pocketbook.
I'm sure we could figure something out.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. I'm sure we could.
He tells me there's only 3 people watching, so no one may actually reach out. So it might be a win-win across the board.
Or it's me and I'm one of them. So,
Oh, heavens.
What so in some ways there's correlation to boutique fitness, but this is smaller space, smaller investment as well. How big of a space do we need for this?
Yeah, great point. We need about 1,000 to 1,200 square foot would be our sweet spot. Nothing fancy, Tim. An empty box. I mean, 4 walls and a bathroom.
Yeah.
My build out, it's really, really simple. It's nice. I have brand standards. We have our colors, paint, flooring. I have a vendor that comes in and measures, that rolls graphics and hangs acrylics. And then I have 2 chairs and a front desk that any contractor with half a brain can put together with drills and a screwdriver.
Right.
And then I have my 5 proprietary tables. So we can be in and out in literally less than a week. So I've had multiple franchisees. The fastest one from signing, 77 days from the day they signed the franchise agreement, their doors were open. They're generating a return on that investment.
So how many of your owners own multiple locations?
93% are multi-unit operators.
Okay.
Yeah, great
Is
question.
that what you guys are looking for as you continue to grow and market?
Not everybody's cut out to be a multi-unit operator out of the gate. Not everybody's got the acumen. Not everybody's got that ambition. Not everybody's got that risk appetite. So I won't say we push that on folks.
Okay.
The numbers are what they are, and the unit economics lend themselves to being more attractive at scale. Because when I can share employees across multiple units, marketing
Same
costs.
as the fitness model. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to drive margin. But again, if Jim is only comfortable with that 1 unit, he wants to dip his toe in the water, I'm not going to drive Jim away because I'm trying to cram 3 units down his throat.
And we hear a lot about semi-absentee ownership. We've talked about it on the show. Like, that's not the way you should go into a franchise. Franchises are really set up as owner-operator. Do you guys really help that franchise owner be more in their studio and be present in their business, or is it something that you see most of your franchise owners are doing some other things?
Most of my franchisees are doing something in addition to Stretch
Okay.
Zone, whether it's they're employed or they have other businesses. The business is simple, Dan. You got one service stretching, so there's no food, there's no inventory, waste or spoilage. I'm managing labor. And so the KPIs are equally simple. You don't
Okay.
need to be in studio to stay on top of those types of things. The expectation I set with the franchisees is 2 to 3 days a week in studio, and that's the people side. That's
Right.
spending time with your team. That's driving
Yep.
culture. It's making sure the inmates aren't running the asylum.
Yeah,
That
and,
sort of
and a
thing.
lot of your members generally like that touch point. That goes back to the community. I know the owner here. I come here every day. That
100%.
kind of thing.
The local aspect
Spot
of it,
on.
right?
Spot on.
In fact, there's a whole thing coming down with the IFA right now, talking about the
Yes.
all these
Yeah, I
yes,
saw that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
right,
Absolutely.
which is like I don't know why we all took so long to come to that conclusion of
Right.
franchising. So, what's maybe something we're missing about Stretch Zone that you want to make sure we share with everybody?
Well, let's just say stay tuned for 2026. There's some really, really exciting stuff coming in 2026.
He's just like trying to get back on the show again. You know that, right?
That's okay.
Okay.
You've got a podcast that you're gonna. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, okay.
There you go. There it is. Yeah, more juice for the podcast.
No, we got some cool stuff coming.
We
right?
got some really cool stuff. We spent a lot of time this year really evaluating the model and how can we add value to franchisees. So we launched Systemwide Access 6 months ago. So if you're a Stretch Zone member, you can use the membership across any of the studios.
Perfect.
Took a lot of technology.
yes.
85% of the revenue for the stretching session goes to the studio that did the stretch, 15% to the home studio that had
Okay.
the customer acquisition costs. And
Okay.
it's automated. It's not a manual
Wow.
reporting nightmare
Or
for
I
the
have to pick up the phone
franchisee.
and call the other person.
No.
Like, how are we splitting this
No,
exactly?
you're not bugging the business coach or the other franchisee.
Right.
That's all automated in the background. We re-released our mobile app
Okay.
about 2 months or so back. And so that's a significant improvement for the consumer experience, booking your demo stretches, rescheduling sessions, flex points, so incentivizing and driving referrals. And it all gets us towards, national accounts, which has been kind of our goal for some time now.
Okay.
Corporate wellness, and then some other opportunities like workers' comp mitigation that we see coming down the pipe.
Okay. Awesome.
Excellent. Cool. Al, man, we greatly appreciate you coming in and talking about Stretch Zone. If you want to leave Danielle and I a couple of little free stretch cards, don't.
Yeah.
be
Where's
afraid.
one near us?
Oh, we'll find one.
Okay.
So it's all good. So again, hey, I'll ask Haskett, Vice President of Franchise Development for Stretch Zone. We'll be right back on the Franchising 360 show after this. Thanks again for watching the Franchising 360 show, brought to you by Franco Coach. Danielle and I hope these episodes continue to educate you on the franchise industry. In between our episodes, if you would like to learn more about franchising and the ways in which Franco Coach can help, there are a few places you should check out. First, be sure to listen to the award-winning Franchising 101 podcast. You can find this on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Next, check out the Franco Coach YouTube channel, Franco Coach for You. You can catch past episodes of the Franchising 360 show, plus tons of other content. If you like to read, we encourage you to check out the book, Becoming a Franchise Owner. And finally, when you are ready to take that first personalized step and explore franchise industry further, please reach out to our amazing team at Franco Coach. There is never any fee for our service, so let us help you create your better tomorrow. Until next week, for Danielle Wright, I'm Tim Parmeter. Thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 show.